Hi, friends. Hello, hello, hello. I'm finally back. I took a bit of a hiatus for some time because I feel like um, the energy has been very crazy. And it's part of what I wanted to talk about. I'm not really sure where this video is going to go. Um, because I feel like I've been experiencing a lot of this confusion energy, this energy of kind of being in this void state and um, feeling like we're kind of in those end of times before things start to really change. So that's a little bit about what I wanted to talk about in this video is just the state of mind of confusion and how confusion is we need to change our relationship to it. We need to start seeing confusion as a state of consciousness that serves as a bridge to a greater level of understanding after we go through that confusion period, after we kind of experience the questioning, the dissolution, the nothing making sense stage of things. So that's going to be a little bit about this video, but I honestly don't really have any direction of where this is going to go. I'm just going to kind of yap and we'll see where the yapping takes us. But um, we're in like a very important time right now. So, astrologically, it's really, really interesting what's going on. Today, Neptune goes into Aries. So, after the last 14 years, we've had Neptune in Pisces, which is just Neptune on steroids. So Neptune kind of represents dissolution of systems, symbols, the unconscious, that is not tangible, like dreams, fantasy, illusions, all of these types of things. And then Pisces is basically like the same type of energy. And so you have this like magnification. And when you think about the last, I think 14, 15 years, so I believe Neptune went into Pisces in 2011. Since then, so much has changed. I mean, you think about like since that time, I think was really when people started to question a lot of the systems that we have in place, and people started to realize like what we're doing is not really working. I know a lot of people started to experience these moments of awakening during that time. I was really young, so that was not me. But even at that age, I was questioning things. And, a lot of us were, I think that was really the beginning time of things not making sense and us having this experience of what we've been doing and what we've been sold is not true, but we didn't have enough experience within that feeling of things not making sense to really truly embody a new truth. And that's where we are now. Like where we are now, where we are headed in this like crux that we're at right now is shifting from this time of confusion and really moving ourselves into the new. So I've talked a lot about that. I've talked a lot on this channel about us being in a time where these systems are really dissolving themselves. I think in the last like 14 years, we've been truly breaking down these systems inside of ourselves first. So we've been having these confusion states of, oh my God, what is this world that we live in? Why are things the way that they are? None of this makes sense. None of this is practical or truly logical when you think about it. It's sold as logical, but it's not. And we've experienced our own feelings of weakness, of feeling like we can't fit into these systems, feeling like our nervous systems are collapsing and dissolving, feeling like we're controlled by our unconsciousness and what we've been sold to be true. And that's very much that like Neptune and Pisces nature. But at the same time, a lot of us have been experiencing this is also very Neptune and Pisces energy, this energy of feeling connected to something new, feeling connected to higher insights, to a divine truth, or to the realization, oh my God, sorry, I feel like I have to burp, but coming connected to yourself and connected to something that's infinite or bigger or dreamlike. And so we've kind of been in this like very weird state of mind where like none of what we've been doing is working, and we're also feeling really connected to these like dreams of like what the future looks like and how things should be, but none of it is grounded. It's like this very much state of mind that's super ungrounded, and we've kind of been floating around and having energy crises and emotional crises and all these different things as we go through the process of being in that state of confusion. um, and we've gotten to a point now where that is finally ending. We have processed so much of that. We have really put ourselves through the ringer when it comes to that type of energy. Now we're shifting into this Aries energy, and we've completed a full cycle around the zodiac. And so it's this really, really profound, like, this is a very profound time of what I've been saying on this channel of we're shifting from an old system and we're starting to, we've integrated ourselves, we've been doing the work, and if you're watching this you've been doing the work, but you've been doing the work, and now it's time to take all of that work that you've done and figure out how to take the formless, aka everything that you have experienced, everything that you've come to realize, everything that has awakened like a new truth inside of you, and figure out a system for yourself that is in alignment to you and in connection with your creativity and your soul's purpose, and figure out a system to embody that, to put that out into the world and to create new initiatives. And that's the energy of Aries. We're starting to go into a time where we're embodying leadership, but empowered leadership. And I really like using the term, like, this is just what I say for myself, but like empathic leadership, because we've had like narcissistic leadership up until this point, but now it's time for leadership to be the cool thing, but in the sense that you're leading from your emotions, that each individual within this society and within this community is empowered within themselves. And it's not about reaching a certain level of power. It's about, are you embodying your purpose? Are you connected to the story of your life? Are you, consciously engaging with yourself and the decisions that you're making? And are you using the things that you've experienced and the things that you're going through and your gifts, and taking initiative to put that into form and do something tangible with it? So that's sort of the energy that we're entering right now. And today we're going from Neptune in Pisces to Neptune in Aries, but we also have Saturn shifting into Aries as well. And Saturn was also in Pisces for the last, like, since March, I believe, of 2023. So almost 3 years. And then we have like a really profound conjunction with Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees on February 26th, I believe. So there's just a lot of this energy. Oh, and then we have an eclipse coming up. So another kind of portal to go through into creating new systems and worlds for ourselves to live in, and as well as like the new year, and the new year being like a year one, number one. So yeah, just like sit with that because I feel like it's a lot of energy, and I'm very curious, like, if you're watching this, have you been feeling this like confusion energy? Because I think that it's been at an all-time intensity in these last few moments, which is why I've been feeling it for the last few weeks, but especially like the last week was just like a very intense experience of confusion. But that's sort of what I was alluding to in the beginning, is that confusion is a really, really beneficial state to be in. We're taught, though, that if we're confused, then we must try to seek an answer. We must try to control the outcome. We must try to fit what we do know into a model that already exists, which would be the current systems that we have. But when you really allow yourself to develop a relationship with confusion and you start to like use these patterns in your life, you'll realize that confusion always precedes profound clarity. So every time you go through a state of confusion, the reason why you're experiencing confusion is because something energetically or on a consciousness level within yourself has decided, like your higher self, your consciousness, whatever you want to believe, something inside of you has changed, in the sense that there was a collapse of what you used to know to be true, and of the systems and the beliefs that you were thinking were the truth, and this is how I operate, and this is how the world works. And all of a sudden that foundation has cracked. There's been a cracking in your knowing and in your understanding of the truth. And so that's why confusion comes up. So confusion comes up because something has already dissolved inside of you. And instead of thinking of it in that way, we think to ourselves that confusion happens because I'm misunderstanding something, because I'm doing something wrong. I must try to understand this even more. I must have missed a crucial piece of information. I must have, faulted somewhere along the line of this journey. But when you realize that confusion is the byproduct of a shift that's already happened inside of you, then you can start to work with it, because then you realize, oh, okay, something inside of me has shifted. Something inside of me has come to a new truth, let me give space, let me give time, let me give stillness for this new truth to come up inside of me and present itself. And so your job during the confusion becomes different as well. Your job is not to try to control the outcome, to control what's happening, to even understand what's happening. And in fact, the more that you try to understand it, the more you're going to hold yourself back, because just the natural state of being in a state of mind of confusion is that you are not meant to understand it. You're meant to come to an understanding through surrender. So surrender, let go, maybe disengage from the things that define your life just for a transient time at least. It can feel uncomfortable, but disengaging can be really helpful because you can start to build new ways of connecting with the things that you were connecting with before, which is really important to facilitate the process. And just trust, I say it like it's easy, like just trust. It's hard, but trust that the universe supplies you with, I like to say, like birthing doulas, right? Like the universe always supplies you with birthing doulas. You'll find the right mentors just come in, the right opportunities, the right signs and synchronicities, the right insights. Like things just start flowing naturally without you having to do anything. But you have to let yourself surrender into that kind of void space and give yourself to that and let it kind of move through you. But that kind of brings the question of like, okay, how do we work with this new energy that's coming through? How do we really get connected to this energy of taking initiative, of taking what we've learned for the last like 14, 15 years and actually bringing that into the physical? And the question is, I don't really know. I mean, the answer is, I don't really know. um, but at the same time, you do know, right? Like each and every single one of us, we know. Your intuition at this time, if you allow yourself to dig deep enough, if you allow yourself to kind of pierce through the superficial levels of confusion, you'll find that there's new things coming up inside of you. There's new insights, there's new directions that you're feeling motivated to go to. It'll take time for that energy to kind of become stronger and to get to a place where that becomes like your baseline energy, this, Aries type of energy of taking initiative, of doing your thing in the world. It'll take time for that to really manifest itself, but if you want to feel like you're moving through this confusion time period, really dig deep inside of yourself and ask yourself, like, where do I feel connected to going? Where do I feel like I want to move to? What am I feeling attracted to? For me, it was actually beneficial, I think, to take a break from making these videos because I really do feel like the way that I'm going to be, creating videos, and I don't even mean in like a big way, like I'm still going to just make videos like this, but I just mean like my attention behind it and my energy behind it and the direction that I'm wanting to take these videos in is going to change. And so it's helpful to have a break from that because you can allow yourself to actually realize, okay, this is where I need to pivot. And this is sort of the end goal direction of where this needs to go. So taking a break also is really, really helpful. But I'm curious if anybody else has been feeling this energy. Have you been feeling like it's been pretty intense in the last few weeks? Also, like how do you feel this Aries energy coming in? I'm really curious about that particularly. Like, how do you feel like your life is shifting in a new direction? I'm sure if you're watching my videos, you're the type of person who has been doing a lot of like psychological, spiritual surgery on yourself. You're somebody who has been waking up to the systems, to the world, to yourself for many, many, many years. And now finally, we have gotten to a time where we're making that transition into let's actually connect with the world and bring something to the world as opposed to just staying to ourselves, doing the work and kind of just like separating ourselves from the world or from the physical. It's like actually time to go into the physical and, connect, give, create, build, all of these different things. So I'm curious, like, what are the ways that you feel like you've been pivoting? Again, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've been feeling that energy. So I just want to hear like everybody's experiences and what they've been doing just to start conversation and get some inspiration because it's really, really important. Another key thing is like it's really important during this time to get clear on what your intentions are, which is a little bit hard because it's like a time of confusion. But with clarity, with time, with stillness, it's really important to get a good grasp of what your intentions are with this new chapter because essentially that's what we're doing. We're in an official new chapter. We're turning the page. We're leaving all that crap in the past. We don't want to revisit that. And it's like we really are kind of in this new world, new consciousness, and it's time to kind of like really allow ourselves to ask the question that we've been avoiding for like our whole lives, which is what am I here to do? And how the F am I going to go out into the world and do that? And it begins with the small stuff. It's not like you just have this massive realization, but the way that you engage, the energy behind with how you engage in these tiny behaviors in your life, that's what's going to shift first. And from that, it's like a snowball effect, and the path just keeps opening itself up. So yeah, comment down below your experiences with this, crazy energetic time of the beginning of 2026. I want to hear what everybody's been experiencing and how you all have been kind of working with the new energy and expressing yourself differently. I'm really excited to hear. And also just share any other insights that you have. I'm going to get back into the groove of making videos, but I think it's going to take me time to just kind of readjust and figure out, like, you know, my new groove and how I want to do things differently and exactly what direction I want to take this in. But yeah, thank you as always for being here. I love all of you guys so, so very much because I feel very grateful that I was able to build this community. Because for a long time, I felt like I didn't have an outlet to talk about this stuff. So it's really changed me and my feelings of connectedness and my creativity and, all the sappy stuff to have this community. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, and I shall see you next time. Bye.